Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Today I've got a pretty unique rifle sling on the table. It was sent to us by John over at Detroit Leather Shop, and we've had this for a little while. What I'd hoped to do is actually take it out on a hog hunt, but my calendar hasn't let me get out on a hunt, so I wanted to go ahead and do the review and get it out to you guys. Basically what this is, it's a leather gun sling. It's meant to be a 2-point sling, and it will work pretty much on any rifle that has any way of mounting a sling. It has a couple unique characteristics in the way these are set up. It does come with these mounts. So this came with it, and all I have to do is, if I loosen up the screw, push down on it, I can rotate this arm, and then once I turn the screw back down, it'll prevent that arm from moving. So now it's locked in place. Rotate the screw back up, and I can push down on it and turn the arm, and now install it. So it comes set up for sling studs. So if you've got a classic rifle, most of those will have, a shotgun will have sling studs on it. So it comes ready to go from that point. One of the features it does have on these ends, and it's on both ends, instead of a rivet, it's got a Chicago screw. And basically a Chicago screw looks like a rivet when it's installed, but you can unscrew it. And what that gives you the ability to do is unscrew the screw and open up the end to change out that end point if you wanted to. So here's one end of a Chicago screw, and the other end kind of looks like a tube. And then I pop the screw out. I could take those off and put in, let's say, a QD mount for my Tavor. Now you might look at it and say, well, the other ones that come riveted, you can always get little QD adapters for these. And that's true, but what you end up with now is two pivot points. You get a pivot point here and a pivot point here, and then of course a QD rotates, and invariably that'll bind. Being able to put something like this on it eliminates that extra pivot point and eliminates the binding. So there are a lot of slings out there that you can make adapters and cascade one adapter off another, but with this one you can actually easily take it apart, put exactly what you want on it, and go. Now again, it did come with these. If I get the camera to refocus, it did come with these, and I bought these on Amazon. But you could buy whatever you want, any kind of these loop mounts for whatever it is you want to do. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back together, because the rifle that I'm going to show it to you on in a little bit uses the sling studs. Putting it back together is fairly easy. Once you line the screw up, just tighten it back down. So one of the things I'm finding with this sling is there's a lot of quality features and thoughtful features built into it that make this a little bit better than some of the ones you might find in the big box stores. The leather itself is 1.25 inches, so it's a little bit wider sling. And the nice thing about that is when it's up against your body, it'll kind of flex to fit your body, and that wider contact point, it doesn't bite into you. I've got a couple nylon slings that work really well, but you need to put these great big fat pads on them because they want to bite into your shoulder or bite into your skin, and this won't do that. It's a little bit more rigid than the supplest leather, but it's not super rigid. It's kind of a nice balance, kind of like a nice gun belt where if I squeeze it, I can't crush it, but it does flex. So it'll allow the sling to contour to your body, but it won't end up being weak and floppy. So it's very comfortable to have this on you. The leather that he uses is called Latigo leather, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but basically it's a double tanned leather. It's chrome tanned and then vegetable tanned. And what that ends up doing is making a nice supple but strong leather that's highly weather resistant. So if this gets wet, it's not going to destroy it like the lower end leathers or just pure vegetable tanned leathers. The other feature that this has is, turn the right way, this roller buckle. And what this roller buckle allows you to do is easily adjust the length of the sling, but avoid having it adjust itself. So what you've got is a loop to one end, and this is just a little retainer to keep it from getting moving around too much. Then the buckle, and then the other end. And what I can do is I can grab the buckle and one end of the sling and then just pull, and I just shortened the sling. If I grab the buckle and the other end and pull, I've just significantly lengthened the sling. And you can do that with various different slings, but this one actually seems to work really, really well and really smooth. But the key is, as long as you're holding the buckle when you pull on one end or the other, it easily moves. If you're not holding the buckle, and I try to do it, it's not going anywhere, it clamps down. So once the thing is on me, and I'm moving around with the rifle, and there's tension placed on it, it won't move itself. So as you're walking through the woods, it's not going to continually loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. But if I want to change the way I'm holding the sling, you know, I've got the gun on me, just grab the buckle and pull, and I get an instant adjustment. So what you've got is something you can adjust instantaneously when you want to adjust it, but it doesn't find itself, adjusting itself. The only other thing I'll mention is that all of the fittings are brass. So it's going to hold up well, it's not going to rust. You know, none of this is painted or plated. So it's really high quality work. These are handmade. He's got an Etsy shop. We will put a link to his store in the Hammer Striker page. Unfortunately, we can't, with YouTube's new restriction on links, we can't put a link directly to his store. But in the description, there's a link to the Hammer Striker page. On the affiliates page, he'll be in there so that you can get to his shop and buy these. These retail for around $59. And he's got a couple other different things. He's got different styles and also like holsters and some other leather goods. And everything is really high quality work and well done. So you won't be disappointed. Let me grab my rifle here. I've got my Gunsight Scout and show you how easy it is to put this on a gun. So I've got a sling stud here and I got one at the other end, and of course we do have a completely unloaded rifle. Wouldn't want this thing going off in the house. So I'd mentioned that these are easy to use. Unscrew them to loosen them up, push and then turn. That exposes the stud. Put it through the stud. And then once I've got it through the stud, I'm just going to push down and flick it back. And then tighten the screw down. Now the screw doesn't actually go tight. What it does is it just goes down to the end of the threads and then falls loose. But what happens now is no matter how much I push on it, that won't push far enough to unlock. So it's on the gun. Now as far as the order that I put it in here, I've got the buckle at this end of the gun. You could do it either way. Depends whether you want to hold the gun nose up, nose down, and where you want the adjustment buckle to end up being. So that's your choice. You can do it either way. And then to go to the other end of the gun, I've got a sling stud up here, and it's the same game. Now I'm ready to go. And of course, my hands are in the way. There's really no good way to do that without your hands being in the way. But it's easy to install. If I wanted to move it from one rifle to the other that had a stud, I could easily do that. And because of the adjustability of it, it'll work on anything I've got. So, rifle for one hog hunt. Go ahead and put the QDs on it for the Tavor to go if I'm going to hunt a different way. And shotgun, whatever it is you want to put it on. So overall, what I'm seeing here is a very high quality sling at a price that's competitive or even lower than some of the nylon ones you can get, that is really going to be durable and hold up well, and most importantly, comfortable to have on your body all day without having to put big bulky pads on it to make it not bite into you. So check him out. Again, we'll put the link on our affiliates page. And I thank you, John, for sending us this. I'm going to enjoy actually trying to get it out on a hunt. And when I actually do, I may put it out an update to how that went. But beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, check us out on Patreon and Facebook. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.